What's going on, guys? T-Dot here, and today we're back for another episode of the Minnesota Twins franchise here in MLB 14, the show. So in this episode, we are in game 162. We are in a three-way tie with the Rays and the Orioles for that second wildcard spot in the American League. So if two teams win out of the three, there will be a two-way tie. If all three teams win, there will be a three-way tie. If all three teams lose, there will be a three-way tie, and if one team wins and two teams lose out of the three, then that one team that wins will go through. So we're taking on Detroit, who's actually a really bad team this season. They're at the bottom of the AL Central, so it shouldn't be too difficult for us to beat them, especially because they don't have Ian Kinsler in the lineup. I believe they traded away Victor Martinez at some point throughout this season, and Miguel Cabrera is out for 6+ months with a dislocated ankle, so hopefully his career isn't over, because you see that sometimes in the show whenever guys have 6+ month injuries, then their career ends at the end of the season. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it did, then that would really make the division a lot easier. But right here you can see they're going to start off the game with a double off the top of the right center field wall. This is obviously a must-win game for us. We can't bank on that the other two teams are going to lose, so we need to win this game. And if we can, then we can pretty much guarantee that we'll have another game, if it being the game 163 or a playoff game. But right here, Alex Avila hits this one to deep right center field, and he finds the seats, the first row in right center field. Alex Avila gives the Detroit Tigers a 2-0 lead here with that 2-run shot. Obviously, we're going to have a short leash for Scott Kazmir in this one. It came down to him or Alex Meyer for the start in this one, because David Price pitched the game before, so he was definitely not going to be able to pitch in this one. So we gave it to Scott Kazmir, but if he does struggle, we do have guys out in the pen that we could potentially use in Phil Hughes or Yordano Ventura. So if he struggles even more after that first 2-run inning in the first inning, then we do have options to go to in the bullpen in long relief. Obviously, the rosters have been expanded, so we do have extra guys in the bullpen, extra guys off the bench. So there is room for, if we do need to bring in guys in relief early, we do have extra depth in the bullpen. But we're going up against Max Scherzer in this one, and the first batter of the game is going to be Byron Buxton, who's going to rip this one into left center field. This one hits off the top of the wall, and Buxton will be into second base with a stand-up double. So a nice piece there for Byron Buxton, nearly left the yard with that one. And next batter would be Elvis Andrus with the 0-1 count. He is going to take this pitch into right center field. This one's going to get down in front of the center fielder, Austin Jackson, and the runner gets caught up at third base. An easy play for Byron Buxton, but the controls in MLB this show really need to be fixed for base running. And it turns out that Buxton gets caught up there at third base. So Andrus at first now, and he is going to take off for second, and he gets thrown out. So 2 base running blunders in 1 inning, and the Minnesota Twins run themselves out of the inning. So in the top half of the second, JD Martinez up, and he has liftoff. This one's deep to left field, and that will expand the Tigers' lead to 3-0. The Tigers are now up early in this game, getting to Scott Kazmir in the second inning for 3 runs total on 2 home runs from JD Martinez and Alex Avila. That is what the Tigers wanted in this one. They really have nothing to play for. They just want to knock out their division rivals, because if they win, then it's pretty much all but over for the Minnesota Twins unless the other two teams lose. But Yoenis Cespedes here in the bottom of the second, he's going to start us off with a base hit here, and he's going to get on base. And at this point, I had changed the settings to automatic base running, and you can see here, once I turn it to automatic base running, he gets picked off. So really bad luck with the base running in this one. But in the bottom of the second, Jonathan Lucroy up. He's going to get a base hit into right center field. This one's going to make it all the way to the wall in the gap, and the right fielder Jason Worth is going to get this one in. But Lucroy is into second base with his 30th double of the season. He's leading catchers in all of MLB in doubles, as he is in real life. He's leading all of the NL in doubles. But right here, Anthony Rendon gets a base hit to the opposite side. The right fielder comes up throwing, so Luke Roy had no chance of scoring there, no business of testing the arm. But Miguel Sano comes up next. He's going to drive this one to deep right field. Right fielder back, and with his back up against the wall, the right fielder does make the catch just at the edge of the warning track, and he could not get that one to go. So Kazmir getting back into it. He's gonna have a 3-up 3-down inning here in the 3rd inning, and he gets back on he gets back into pitching well. But into the top of the 5th inning, both sides for both pitchers, Kazmir and Max Scherzer, through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning, both pitchers had 3-up 3-down innings. So both pitchers retired 9 straight through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning. And as you can see here, Miguel Sano is going to pop this one up to right field. So 9 up, 9 down for both sides through 3 straight innings, which is crazy. You rarely see that. Very boring 3 straight innings. So the Tigers end at the end of the 5th inning. They're up 3-0, but Martin Prado comes up in the bottom of the 6th. He's going to get a base hit past the 3rd baseman. Diving there is Nick Castellanos. So we got a runner on first base, and Eric Hosmer comes up with 2 outs, and Max Scherzer still on the hill. He's going to drive this one into left center field. This one is deep to center field. Center fielder back, runs out of real estate, and that one is gone. Eric Hosmer's 34th home run of the season makes it a 1-run lead for the Detroit Tigers. Scherzer gives up his first run of the ball game, as he probably should have given up one in the 1st inning, but that base running blunder by Byron Buxton. But you can see here Eric Hosmer, who has a ton of home runs. Our team has a ton of home runs. There's like 3 or 4 guys that have like 25+ home runs this season. So you have a ton of pop in the lineup, and it's showing there. But Kazmir still dealing here into the 6th inning. He really bounced back in that 3rd inning, and he's still pitching in the 7th, going 6 in the 3rd so far, and that was his 9th K of the day. So he really turned it around after those first 2 home runs. And next up, he's going to get a strikeout on 3 straight pitches, so he gets his 10th strikeout of the game. He gets into double digits after really struggling early. We thought we might pull him in the 3rd or even the 2nd, but he turns it around and really pitches deep into this ball game. But Miguel Sano turns on this one from Max Scherzer, leaves a hanging breaking ball over the middle of the plate. And Miguel Sano, who has done that many times this season, one of the biggest power threats in the league. Even though he's batting in the bottom of our order, he's still one of the biggest power threats in our lineup. He's not hitting for a high of an average, but I believe that is like his 25th or to 30th home run, not exactly sure. But he's going to tie this one up here, and that one will make it 3-3 as Miguel Sano ties it up here in the late innings. Hits that one off Max Scherzer, who doesn't give him many home runs. But next up would be Martin Prado, who's going to turn on this one as well. This one is into deep left center field. Center fielder back, and this one is a wall scraper. Just makes it into the bullpen. And Marty Prado goes back-to-back with Miguel Sano, and that will give us the lead here. We go on top 4-3 here in late innings off of Max Scherzer. We already have 3 home runs in this ball game. So a huge inning here for the Minnesota Twins, and that will give us the lead here. And with the back end of our bullpen pitching as well as it has this entire season in Addison Reed and Glenn Perkins, they don't usually score more than 1 run, so it could be locked down here. But Ian Kinsler is going to come off the bench to pinch hit for Austin Jackson, which is a very interesting move. Why they wouldn't start Ian Kinsler and why they would pinch hit for him for the top of the order. But he's going to ground out to the shortstop, Elvis Andrus, who makes the play, and that will be the first out of the inning. Now the 1-2 pitch here to Jason Worth, and Addison Reed strikes him out, so they go 3-up 3-down here in the 8th inning. So that's the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th after Jason Worth struck out there. We still have the 1-run lead. We're mucking them in hits. We are up 10-5 in hits. But Tyler Clippard, their setup man in their bullpen, he's going to come in. He's been pitching horribly this season, 2-8 with a 5.65 ERA. But he has had a lot of appearances. But the first batter in our inning is going to be Elvis Andrus, who's going to get a base hit right up the middle. So we get started with the top of our order getting on base here, and a lot of speed on base. So we need to tack on an extra run here in the bottom of the 8th. So next up would be Yoenis Cespedes. After a ton of pickoffs to first base, he's going to get a base hit into left field. So there's 2 runners on here, and that will bring up Will Myers, the 5-hitter, after we moved him up in the lineup, and we bumped down Luke Roy 1 spot. But Will Myers comes up with 1 out, and we need some insurance here, and he delivers deep center field. Center fielder back, and the same spot Eric Hosmer hit his, and Will Myers goes deep. A 3-run shot gives us the 4-run lead, makes it a non-save situation for our closer, but we're still going to end up bringing in Glenn Perkins. But Will Myers gives us the 4-run lead in a must-win game. The bats are coming through. The 4th home run of the day for the Minnesota Twins. All of our runs, came by way of the home run. But Glenn Perkins still going to come in. He has 46 saves on the season, a sub-3 ERA, having a phenomenal season. Geraldo Parra is going to come into right to take Will Myers' spot in the outfield because he's one of the best defenders in the league. And Geraldo Parra actually shows it here. We brought in Geraldo Parra for Yoenis Cespedes in left. So Will Myers is going to make the play in right field there, and that will be the first out of the inning. So Perkins, one of the best closers in the league this season, and we still brought him in because we needed to lock this one down. But he gives up a couple deep fly balls here, and Buxton's going to range to get this one. So a couple deep fly balls here, but it turns into 2 outs. So they're down to their final out here in this ball game. JD Martinez is going to get a base hit into right field. So they get a runner on base. It's still very far away from being the tying run. They need to load the bases, and then the tying runner will be at the plate. But the next batter, I believe this is Nick Castellanos, is going to ground this one to second. Anthony Rendon plays it and makes the play at first. So that will do it for this ball game. We do end up getting the win, and you can see later what happened in the other 2 games with Baltimore and Tampa Bay. So we'll get to that in just a second, but we pick up the win in this one. Glenn Perkins obviously didn't get a save because it was a 4-run lead when he came in. But Scott Kazmir rebounds from that early 2 home runs, and he actually ends up getting the win. I believe he moves to like 13-6 or something. Will Myers gets player of the game. He went 1 for 4 with that home run, which pretty much was all the insurance we needed in getting that 3-run shot. And he made a couple nice plays on defense. But the Tigers score 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and the Twins score 7 runs on 13 hits and no errors. So a big day for both clubs. The Tigers obviously hitting 2 home runs, and we obviously hit 4 home runs, but ours came really late in this ball game, and we actually sneak out of here with the win. So we actually go a game up on the Rays, as the Rays did end up losing, and Baltimore actually ends up winning against the Red Sox. So it's going to set up a game 163 for the next episode. It will still be a regular season game. We'll get into this right here. You guys can see it with the standings. So the Rays lose, and us and the Orioles win. So we finish at 84-78. So we'll have a game 163, and the winner will take on the Astros in that 1-game playoff game. So it's going to be interesting. The rosters will still be expanded. Let me know who you guys want me to throw in that game. Alex Meyer or Phil Hughes are the 2 options. Phil Hughes is definitely in contention for that Cy Young this season, but Alex Meyer, higher overall, younger pitcher, and it's up to you guys. So that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.